Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Carlson, someone who has not been on the show for a while. Is that my error or yours or ours?
Mine, probably.
You've been a busy, busy man.
I'm trying to stay busy, yeah.
Lots of great things have happened since we last spoke.
Yeah, a lot of good things have happened, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, certainly being able to keep that bunch of money right here that you guys worked so hard on getting that done, and it went down, hands down. There was no vote opposed to it.
No, there wasn't any votes opposed to it. It was really a great effort. It really does tell you something about when the rural communities, if we do all come together, and this was rural communities all throughout the state, we all come together, we can get something done.
Oh yeah.
And our elected officials, the local folks, are really great. It's great to have them too. The local officials, when they'll stand up for you. You know, it wasn't just Sonny Borelli and Regina Cobb, which they carried. You know, they did the yeoman's work.
Right.
We had, you know, Sonny in the Senate and Regina in the House, and they were our champions all throughout. They took up the challenge. As soon as we failed last year, we got together and said, okay, we're going to do this, and we're not going to fail next year, and we didn't fail. So and then we had other folks too, and I don't want to you know, minimize the folks that offered up to do things, but we didn't have a need for them.
Right.
You know. You know, the Mayor Brady offered up help, and he actually did something. He actually wrote. He actually got something through the, you know, through the City Council, and got a letter to Sonny, specifically from Bullhead City, that Sonny was able to wave around and use. So that was great. And Hildy offered, but you know, she had offered if you need some help, but we really didn't.
Right.
But it's nice when they're there to offer.
Oh, absolutely.
It's really great, and when those folks are all with you. And the community's with you, and the community was with us. You know,
Yeah.
2,200 letters for each elected official, which was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So that all went great, as you indicated, and not only did it get passed without a dissension, but actually within a week. You know, I know that some bills Governor Ducey didn't sign right away, and some he didn't sign at all, but this one he signed within a week.
Wow.
And so that tells you something about the completeness of our effort, is that not only did this effort involve all the you know, the state elected officials, but it also involved the governor's office. So the governor himself knew, and the governor and the governor's staff knew exactly what we're doing, why and how, and as soon as that bill got to his desk, poof, it went. So
no loose ends on this one. It's a done deal.
Well, it is now. We just had our annual meeting in June, and our June annual meeting. There is some business. It's not just giving away gifts and me putting people to sleep by having a presentation.
Right.
It's not just that. It's also that we have a business meeting, and in that business meeting, we voted. We as members voted to change the bylaws, so the bylaws comport now exactly to, or right to the legislation, and that way, in the future, there's no question. If some wily bureaucrat in the future from the state decides to try to look and figure out if there's a source of revenues they can scrape up from the rural communities, this is not one of those, because our bylaws now are right in sync with the legislation, and we did that the first week of June, and we had the meeting, and we had nearly 200 members show up. And those members all voted unanimously to change the bylaws, and so those bylaws now are changed, and we're off and running. So I mean, in 2 short years, and I say it's 2 short years. The first year we tried and failed, but this last year it was an effort from the beginning, from May until March, and from May till March, those 10 months, we were able to get everything done, get it out of the House, get it out of the Senate, get it in front of the governor, and get it signed, and it actually takes effect in I believe in August.
Wow.
The bill takes effect.
That's for time.
Well, really, you know, you got to be proud of the community and the community leaders, and you got to be proud of our members themselves, because they all rose up, and they all know it. I was at the Republican Women's Luncheon the other day, and I mentioned it, and they all were shaking their heads because they all know the issue. Everybody, you know, paid attention, and they knew the issue. So, and they were happy that it was done. And so that got done. That was a great accomplishment.
Huge effort. I know. You worked very. you and others worked very, very hard to get that thing done because of the importance to the community. It was without a doubt one of the very important things to the community that did not happen the way they wanted it to happen. Now, I know you guys at MEC constantly surprise and frustrate me because you can do things that others can't or won't. And one of the more recent, and I say so recent as about 20 minutes ago I found out about this, or at least it finally stuck, MEC has been rather forward in helping individuals bypass the initial issues and go forward to fix whatever it is to make life easier for them in the future and easier for MEC.
Sure. Yeah,
that's a long way of putting it.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what you were actually.
Where am I going with this? Right?
What you were talking about. But over the course of the last couple of years, I've kind of alluded to there's a program that we're working to get started in it, and it took some effort because we had to get it approved through the commission. The commission requires us to have a certain number of programs having to do with demand side management, but yet they have to approve your program.
Right.
So they require it of you, and then they have to approve what it is. And for MEC members, you'll see it on your bill as an energy efficiency component on your bill, and it's usually some number, 39 cents, 41 cents, some number on your monthly bill. And we've had programs for years, and those programs are, our Operation Cool Shade that you're aware of, that we subsidize tree purchases so you can put the trees in the right place. We have things. We have our if you have heat pumps, we have a rebate that if you change out your heat pump and even if your heat pump is just breaking and you need a new heat pump, we'll give you money to get the higher efficiency one. We'll give you some money. So we have our LED lights giveaway. We have Steve Bowman who will come out to your house and do an assessment. If you want to figure out where you're losing energy or where you're not your most efficient, he'll come out and he's well trained in it, and he'll come out to take a look at your weather stripping, take a look at what you have as far as your insulation, and make recommendations for you, and that's all great, and that's all on what we call the demand side. Right. And we do have a healthy demand side. I mean, if you also look at our residential programs for solar or for hot water heat, that's really focused on the demand side. And there are folks out there, and I get this once in a while. It's usually an uninformed member, typically from California, who will say to me, well, you guys are in the supply side, but you do nothing on the demand side. No, we do a lot on the demand side. We are always offering programs to help you, the member, the customer, on the demand side. But we also recognized some time ago that we have a significant number of people who, regardless of the cost, they don't have the dollars. They're on fixed income and low income, and they don't have the dollars to even do the weather stripping. And so their electricity bill happens to be something that eats up a significant portion of their fixed income. And we've wrestled with this for a number of years, and we finally got something through the commission about in early 2016. And we then rolled this program out, and this program still is probably not as well known as it should be, but we have a particular program, and we leverage. We go through WACOG, Western Council of Governments, Western Area Council of Governments, but we go through WACOG, and we leverage state money, county money, federal money, and then we put our own money in. And what we'll do is that if you're a homeowner, you own the place that you're living in, and you and you are at a fixed income, and you're at for the most part low income, but it's aimed at fixed income folks. If you're low income and you meet the low income qualifications, we, by way of WACOG, will hire somebody. They'll come out, they'll take a look at your property, they'll look at weather stripping, insulation, They'll look at your air conditioning unit, maybe even it could be your refrigerator itself, but they'll look at your energy usage and try to determine what's the best bang for the buck, and then we'll go out and make investments specifically at no cost to the homeowner. So we'll improve their home.
Wow.
So they actually can make, I guess it's a sustainable change because it lasts for a number of years.
Right.
But it's not a handout. What it is, and is it then lowers that pressure on their budget by lowering their energy use. And by lowering their energy use, their bill should go down. And always the outcome should be that your bill should go down, unless you are turning your temperature lower in the summer and higher during the winter than you were before. But if you keep the same living pattern that you had, and we make these changes, your low income and fixed income will go farther. And it's been a popular program, although we're still not sure how many folks are aware of it. So this is great. Here we are. You can come. You can, if you're listening, you can pay attention and share this with other folks. Share this with people that you know of. So since 2016, we started. We got the program created, and then about the spring of 2016, we actually had money to start, using. So we've been able to through WACOG retrofit 28 homes. That's 28 low-income homes in our service territory. You have to be in our service territory. You have to be a member. But we're able to retrofit 28 homes, about $200,000 worth of investment. So the Mohave Electric investment's probably about a third of that. So the rest of that 200,000 has been leveraged by other sources.
Right.
And then most recently, we had been talking to the mayor for some time, but most recently we started a program for Bullhead City itself, and we're working with Bullhead City, and either they're leveraging our money or we're leveraging theirs. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's a very similar program, and we've already got 5 homes underway, 5 more kind of in the pipe. And we look to probably some $300,000 for those 10 homes. That means about $30,000 a home for investment.
Yeah, it does fit right in with our area, obviously, going through these amazing temperatures that we've been having and we'll continue to have for the next several months. Are you kidding me? Thank you, Chad.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Like a king, I'm telling you, like a king. But us also, these folks that have been having these problems, that have had unsatisfactory insulation, et cetera, have been also going to River Fund, for instance, looking for a hand up to help pay their power bills into the tens of thousands of dollars over the years. This is going to help in that regard. So it's a wonderful thing.
I think it is pretty good. What we fund, and I read it a little bit, but not just AC and heat pumps, but sunshades, attic access door repair, replace, seal swamp coolers, attic insulation. Those are things that our money can go to. But our partners, the partners that we're with, the WACOG folks, they'll do exhaust fans, AC grill repair, water heaters, stoves range, water systems, plumbing repair.
Wow.
So it really is kind of a cool, it's a kind of a holistic, let's walk into your house and let's figure out, let's stop the dripping of water, which is also wasting resources, and let's try to save energy, and it really, and again, this is on the demand side. This is on the customer's meter side that we're trying to lower the usage, and folks that think that Mohave Electric, we just care about that you use a lot of electricity.
Right.
We don't make any money on electricity.
Not for profit.
We're not for profit. So, and the cleanest and the cheapest kilowatt hour that's out there is the one you didn't use, and I didn't have to generate, and I didn't have to transmit, and that's the cleanest. No matter, you can talk about all of the other parts about renewable energy and solar and all of that, and what natural gas is good, coal, whether it's good or bad, we can all have those debates. But the kilowatt hour you didn't use is absolutely the cheapest, and it's the cheapest, and it's the cleanest. So I know you flashed something up on the screen, which was great, so we could actually talk about it. This is something that went out and goes out in our mailers. And this is, you can find the same information on our website. So you have contact information. I'll get to it. I'll get to more. But if you go to our online, our mohaveelectric.com, and you look up our energy efficiency programs, this is one of the programs that'll come up. We have the contact information for WACOG. We actually have the contact information for Bullhead City. So you know, we are, you know, we're working. We're getting some stuff done, and I think it's pretty phenomenal. It's not just talk about helping, you know, helping lower income folks. It's not talk about we feel bad about it, or it's not. It actually is. It's the kind of activity that we all need to be thinking about. Our hearts want us to just give money to somebody, and that's what our hearts want us to do, and which isn't a bad thing, and sometimes it's needed, but our mind should tell us that we should try to make sustainable changes, something that is repeatable, something that has a savings every year, or something that impacts somebody's life in the future, and that we believe these types of programs are actually doing that.
It takes me into the area of these people who are having these problems and cannot get out from under it on their own. It takes them from eating basically cat food, at least into hamburger.
Well,
I mean, that takes a lot of money.
Yeah,
and $40 or $50
is
important to these people.
Well, and you know, I wish I could tell you how much the savings are. The people need to tell us when they're done, and we're so new in this, we don't have a lot of information yet about what the savings actually are. And again, the savings have everything to do with your habits, your life habits.
Right.
So if you change your life habits afterwards, and you start using more electricity, because all of a sudden your budget allows it.
Right.
Then you're not going to see. You might be more comfortable or something, but you're not actually going to see the cost savings. But that's the intent. The intent is to do that. So we're trying to provide somebody an opportunity in which to save in their monthly operating costs. They can actually put their money somewhere else.
I have seen on numerous occasions, not to change the subject, but for personal edification, where people talk about ceiling fans, and I know that you are one who tells me you don't need the damn thing on when you're not home, Bruce. And I said, but my cats are so comfortable, come on. However, a ceiling fan will go two directions, either blowing air down or sucking air up.
Right.
This time of year, your fan should be sucking air up.
It should be in the summer mode, which should be sucking air up. But
not blowing air down on you, because that's the hotter air right up top.
Yeah, typically the newer fans have a little marking on there, the sun, and then a snowflake on one side and the sun on the other.
That's what that was. No,
which is to tell you which side you should put the switch on. But truthfully, if you just get the air moving, that's one thing. But the step up for that is making it in the right direction.
Right.
But moving the air is important, but it's only important while you're there. Not important when you're not there.
You next going to tell me my garage refrigerator is only important when I'm there.
Well, no, that might be important to you when you have a lot of beer in it.
That's it. Yes.
So yeah,
exactly.
But if you don't have any beer in it, you should unplug it.
I'll go with that.
That's its own subject matter. But you did talk about the River Fund, and this kind of does help us from the River Fund standpoint. Mohave Electric, we've been pretty much involved in the River Fund from the start, probably from the absolute get-go. Probably some of the earliest donations came from either individuals at Mohave Electric, or it came from Mohave Electric in total. And one of the things that we got from Mike the other day, which was a letter to all of us who are probably the donating folks, and indicated that since 2010, some $1.87 million have been spent since 2000 its inception.
Yes.
And which is amazing. So just about $2 million since 2010, and I think that's pretty incredible. But we also went back to look at, directly or indirectly, what did Mohave Electric do for that $1.8 million? A third of that, over $600,000, have come from Mohave Electric employees, Mohave Electric itself, or Mohave Electric directly Sirius. So since 2010, about a third of the River Fund dollars have come from Mohave Electric, directly or indirectly. And that could be people who donate an extra dollar. So if you look at your bill and you see that little thing on your bill that says you can round up dollars go to the River Fund. So if you want to put your 15 cents or 87 cents and you want to round up to a whole number, that money goes to the river fund. So we facilitate that. There's a dollar adder. You can just add $1 to your. I do both the roundup and the dollar. So somewhere between $1 and $2 every month goes to the river fund for my bill.
Difference.
It makes a difference, and so it's that kind of funds, the direct money that comes from the board. I think the employees have been given somewhere around $5,000 a year.
Wow. Directly
to the river fund. So the river fund's a big deal. So when you talked about the folks that are the low-income folks that are coming to the river fund for that help, they basically can get that help once a year.
Right.
Whereas this program provides them year-round
Yep.
change, we think it's the right step, certainly. And I think there's another. It has bigger, so you can read it if you can find that. But it has the who you contact and where you contact, the phone numbers. There it is right there. It's the Owner-Occupied Housing Rehabilitation Program. There's the phone number, of course, Bullhead City, and then there's WACOG, Western Arizona Council of Governments, that's their phone numbers. And you can always go to our website. And Steve Bowman down at our Hancock office, which is our customer service office, our member service office. If you go to member services and you don't know, ask for Steve. Steve can direct you to these things.
Excellent.
And so we've got some incredible programs out there. This is a new one. It's fairly new, and we really believe that it can make a difference, both within our whole service territory and as well as the Bullhead City, because Bullhead City is using their resources that they leverage. They leverage resources, and they have a set of resources, and so we're working together with them, and we think for our membership that are low income, that you qualify and you're a homeowner, or you own the place in which you live, you have an opportunity here. So please contact these folks. Please go ahead and reach out and contact them, so you have an opportunity to make whatever your limited funds go further, and that's the intent and that's the idea.
Is this a relatively new idea? I mean, or are there other co-ops in the state that are doing this? Have you heard?
This is ours is unique.
Okay.
So we there are every other co-op and most utilities have to have a energy efficiency type program in which they give rebates for heat pumps and that kind of stuff, but ours is specific, so nobody else does this one.
Wow.
Which is specifically aimed at low income, and so we understand the demographics here, we understand who our membership are, and we understand the need that exists out there, and so from our standpoint, we created something unique and new just for us.
I'm anxious to hear what the results of this will be, even in the short term, 6 months to a year. Damn near have to be a year with all the temperatures, but it'll be interesting and exciting to see that. Here, if you give us a few years, and then we'll look back on people's bills that we've changed, and maybe we'll have some good news. Now, I always am a little guarded. Maybe I'm a little too pessimistic, but when there are many times in which we put a solar something on a building that the occupants, they tend to not look at it necessarily as a way to save. They tend to look at it, now I have budget money to spend somewhere else, and so the usage doesn't always go down. In fact, it's a nice idea, right? But
the usage doesn't go down. We certainly hope with these individual homeowners that their usage does go down, because then their bills go down.
Right.
And that's the whole idea, and that's the aim and the whole idea for these folks.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing that. Will you come back and see us?
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Tyler Carlson, ladies and gentlemen. Mohave Electric Cooperative. Do we have more show? We're going out. We're going out? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us together. We do appreciate it. Michaela, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And until tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.
preceding presentation of the morning show is intended for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the show without the express written consent of TV2 KLBC is strictly